about guys who, and by the way, I have nothing but respect for Tony Robbins, but I was talking about guys who go to Tony Robbins seminars, and then at the end, they hug their buddy and they cry and they go back and they're overweight and they're living in their mother's basement. A week later, they've made no changes in their life. And because Tony Robbins essentially sells a feeling. And I'm like, man, the markup on feelings is infinite. The cost of goods sold on a feeling is zero, right? It's really easy to sell a feeling. I was like, if I ever started a course, I would call it Men of Action. That's what I would do, because I'm not trying to sell you a feeling. I'm trying to get you to take action. Again, not knowing at this time, Ted, there's actually a thing called behavioral activation therapy, BAT. Just like there's dialectical, DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy, and CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. There's one called BAT, which is behavioral activation therapy. And it works really well for men. And this is the concept of, if I go out and take action, if I go out and build the business, go to the gym, go out, do things with friends, get out in the sunlight, all these kind of things, I can cure my own depression, right? And which makes sense from an evolutionary standpoint. And then later on, Ty Lopez introducing me to Dr. Buss, who I ironically, again, we went to the same university, but I'd never met him. And then reading Dr. Buss's books and then seeing an actual tacit studies showing that the reality that I was experiencing wasn't just my reality. It was like throughout history, men who were able to network always were able to garner more resources and had higher sexual status. It's always been the way. They had a higher sexual market value. And so I just started to figure out ways to compile this entire program. The first program, Men of Action, came out in October of 2020. And then the second program came out in October of 2021. And we put the two programs together. It's 114 modules, about 65 hours long. So this is, I've said this a million times, this is the most comprehensive male self-improvement course in history, because like it would be like if Jocko Willink taught dating and lifestyle. Jocko Willink doesn't teach you how to set up a social media profile, but he does teach you leadership. Jocko is the greatest at teaching you leadership. And then think about all the people in the dating space. Do they teach you anything about leadership? Of course not. Do they teach you anything about e-commerce or building a brand? They do not. And then the brand building guys, do they teach you anything about fitness or leadership? Do they teach you anything about dating? No, I put all of it together. Again, like Ted, you were saying this before, you're a meteorologist. You have built a brand as a meteorologist. I have no doubt whatsoever. You have been at a bar, someplace in some social setting, and a woman very attractive has come up to you and say like, oh, I know you from television. So your brand building makes you more marketable in your professional career. And it also makes you more attractive to the opposite sex. That right there is the bat hitting. That is the 400-foot home run right there.